Another nurse appeared in Rolie's field of view, beaming at Rolie. She bent over and kissed Rolie's face and cooed into her ear about what a darling baby she was. Though lightly scented, her perfume was intoxicating and filled Rolie's senses with unbidden joy. How feminine, what an utter delight. Together they started undressing Rolie. Rolie's anger flared. She was going to make sure they both rotted in prison. She found her anger hard to maintain though, as their gentle fingers and soft hands touched her. They were rubbing a cool cream over her entire body, and when they wiped it off she could see her bodily hair was coming off with it. Next she felt wetness against her skin. She was getting a sponge bath on the table. Rolie had to admit that this felt very good. It was refreshing and soothing. She was sticky with sweat and grime from her trials of this morning and desperately needed this. As they worked they talked with one another. Apparently one of the nurses was new and the experienced one was explaining things to her new assistant. Rolie was able to gather that she was injected with a powerful serum that paralyzed the skeletal muscles while leaving the bodily functions, the smooth involuntary muscles of her body unscathed. For instance, Rolie could breathe, swallow, hiccup, and pass waste, etc. But she could not clench her fists, move her legs or roll over. She surmised from their talk about her next muscle relaxant injection that her paralysis was going to wear off. Rolie was very relieved about that. She felt completely helpless, and claustrophobic even, about not being able to control her arms and legs. They gave her more injections, 1 in each arm and 2 in the butt. Rolie gathered that one was vitamins, but she could swear that they mentioned both female hormones, and Estanil and Premarin were change drugs, weren't they? Rolie's mind raced while she tried to remember that obscure trivia. I'm a man. My gender is getting changed. And why? Why both? All the while, deep inside, her heart fluttered and her face flushed at the possibilities. The two nurses rolled a metal table to the side of the exam table. Rolie couldn't turn her head to see, but to her dismay a large cotton diaper appeared in the corner of her vision. She felt Mommy's arms lift her butt off of the table and felt the diaper being snuggled into place. If they expect me to into a diaper, then they are mistaken, Rolie raged to herself. I'll explode first. Clear pink plastic panties went over the diaper, and beautiful ruffled panties went over that. The white rumba panties were adorable, with the Mommy's baby embroidered onto the front and row upon rows of pink ruffles across the seat. Little pink booties with blue ribbons for laces went onto her feet, and matching mittens were put onto her hands so she wouldn't accidentally scratch her face or eyes, even though they carefully trimmed her nails very short. They were taking no chances with their little charge. A feminine camisole top was put on the baby. It had bloused short sleeves and eyelet lace around the neck and bottom hem. It too was pink and pretty. Rolie felt her stirring in her soft diaper. Rolie tried to change position to keep the diaper from caressing, but was completely unsuccessful. Her super relaxed legs lay open, her legs spread and with the outside of her knees resting easily on the table. Rolie saw her dreaded pissy sissy bonnet as it went past her peripheral vision and onto her head. LT so wonderfully good as the blood pulsed through it. She could feel it throbbing with her heartbeat against the soft warm material of the fresh cotton diaper. It felt like a velvet mouth with a tongue made from down. Gently pressing, with long caressing slides as the material of her diaper shifted. Mommy's arms came down and scooped Rolie up. With a nurse on each side cooing reassuringly to her, she was carried to the playpen and put down surrounded by big plush animals. Is Whittle Baby hungry? Does Whittle Baby want num-nums? Asked the nurse as she wiggled Rolie's little toesies. I'll warm up your formula, sweetheart, it's time for your ickle lunch.